To the Lake Children's Hospital Radiothon. We're having a great time here, and the reason why we're here is to support, and you get the chance to be a part of this success story of this amazing local, not-for-profit children's hospital, Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center. It's a children's hospital inside that facility, and it's good to see people that we've gotten to know over the years, Dan, Seidel, and Sam. Now, his story, besides eating the Hostess cake there, I guess that's Hostess. Of course, everyone went out of business now. Dan, it was I'm amazed at how far that Sam has come after this. It was a near drowning incident, wasn't it?
That's correct, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what happened, the process of what you had to go through as a dad. What were the feelings that you had? Just give us a recap of those years ago. What is it, about 4? Was it about 4 years ago?
It was almost 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, this March will make 6 years. So we're about 3.5 weeks out from the 6-year mark.
So what were the things that you had to go through at the outset and the events that followed?
Well, just to kind of recap and give some people a little history. Sam is a near drowning, and it was March 24th of 2007. And, I've heard you guys say it a bunch of times, life changes in an instant, and that's exactly what happened to us, almost 6 years ago, is, Sam fell in the pool. We didn't know about it, and he was underwater approximately 20 minutes.
Wow.
And so when we did finally get him out of the pool, they had some people there that were helping, and got him out of the pool, started CPR immediately. And he was not breathing, did not have a pulse or a very faint one. And then, the paramedics got there and just immediately took over. And, once they had gotten him to a point where they did have a very faint pulse, they rushed him immediately here. And that's where our journey with Children's Hospital here began.
So when that was happening to you, besides offering up a lot of prayers, were you afraid that might be goodbye?
Absolutely. I think probably at the time I was probably a little too numb to really even think about that. But, everything just kind of stopped. And the initial after the initial getting to the hospital, going through everything, everything's just a blur at that point. The outlook was not good, to say the very least.
So tell us a little bit about how you got to the hospital. You realized that you were here at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, and what took place once you got here.
What is amazing, I've lived in Baton Rouge pretty much my whole life. Very familiar with Our Lady of the Lake. And prior to this, prior to this, I would come up here and visit people in the hospital. My mom was sick, and I'd come up and visit her, and I'd always see these doors open up on the 3rd floor. And I'd see the Ronald McDonald, and I just thought that that's where the kids went in the hospital. I didn't fully understand that. There's a children's hospital. When I heard people say children's hospital, I thought of New Orleans or I thought of some other location, but I did not know that we have a children's hospital here in Baton Rouge, right here inside of Our Lady of the Lake. So I forgot the question.
No, I was just asking. When you go through this and you arrived at the hospital, what are the things that they did to help you to know that this was the best place for Sam to be?
I think it's really hard to communicate that. It's something that you really have to go through. And as far as how we were treated, me and my wife were treated, and how we were kept in the loop as far as, what was going on. As difficult as it was, I knew without a doubt, regardless of, you have to remember at this time, we didn't know what the outcome was going to be. But regardless of what the outcome, he was getting the best care, really, from anywhere. that we knew of. We just knew that they were doing everything possible that they could to, number one, save his life. Then that was the immediate goal: is let's just save this. He was 2.5 at the time, and let's just save this 2.5-year-old boy. And without a doubt, that's they did everything.
They calmed you as well when they were going through that process, and you could see that there were things that were more glimmers of hope as you realize that that's the result of having a state-of-the-art facility here in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, absolutely. You said they calmed us definitely as much as they possibly could, and just the way that they communicated things to me and my wife. And anytime you go through a situation like this, as I'm sure some of the other people that have been here can tell you, it's an up and down. It's a roller coaster, to say the least. You get good news one minute, and the next minute not so good news. But we had confidence in the doctors, the nurses, the caregivers, the specialists. You name it, it's across the board. The child life people. I have 2 other children. And they would help with my other kids and explaining issues to them. So, yeah, it's definitely a roller coaster, but no time during those ups and downs did I feel like we needed to be anyplace else.
They cared for Sam, and they embraced you as a family. That's what this hospital does.
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. It's the whole family. It's not just the patient, but it's all of these ancillary things that need ministering to, that need counseling, that need comforting, that somebody can just come up to you and give you a hug. And it's not necessarily coming up giving you a hug saying, hey, everything's going to be okay, because I know that's not the case all the time.
Dan, what do you tell somebody that's listening to this right now? They're on the fence about whether or not they're going to become a miracle maker. What do you tell them?
What they do here in this hospital, Children's Hospital, could not be done without the miracle makers out there making these pledges. It's $15 a month. And I know maybe I'm biased because it's my son, but I know my son is worth more than $15 a month. Somebody's grandchild. We never know who it's going to affect, who it's going to reach out and grab, who it's going to touch. And without the pledges, without the support of this community, and that's the great thing, is the money stays in this community. You're not giving it to, you hear about all these charitable organizations. The money stays right here. It goes to care for kids like Sam, to minister to family members. Yeah. It's very important.
He's grown since I've seen him last.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, and Sam is just one of the reasons why you need to become a miracle maker right now. Dan, we appreciate you coming in and giving the update. He's doing better?
He is. He is. We just, the way we look at it, I was talking to a young kid that was very curious and asking about questions about him, asking, will he ever do this? Will he ever walk? Will he ever talk? And I said, there are a couple of real important things. One is we keep praying, because we don't know what God has in store and really what God is capable of. That's the real miracle. The second key thing is we never give up. So we're just going to keep pushing forward, giving him every opportunity to succeed and improve.
We appreciate you sharing that story. To become a miracle maker, it's so easy. Capital Buick GMC phone bank, 888-499-5437 on the Facebook page and on 96.1theriver.com. I'm Scotty Mack, and Joey's coming in. The Lake Children's Hospital Radiothon continues here in just a little bit on 96.1 The River.